Carl, welcome to this week's edition of In the Dugout. We'll start off by talking about last weekend's season launch with Rob Burrow in attendance. How did that go?
I thought it was a real good night. I thought Robbie was very good. He told us all it was his first one, and which I believe him. But I thought he was outstanding. Players enjoyed it. He told some good stories. Fans enjoyed it, mingling with the players, and the players were a credit to the club. So I've already thanked them personally. They conducted themselves in a decent manner, and they mingled exactly what we wanted them to do. And I think those nights will get bigger.
So what was Rob Burrow like then on stage? We've seen his exploits on the pitch. How did he adapt to life on stage and telling his stories to everybody else?
I thought he was good. With the first one, he didn't mumble his words or lose his way or have to revert to his notes. Natural, just probably autopilot like he did as a player. No, he was real good, and I've spoke to him since, and he thoroughly enjoyed it.
And the players and obviously sponsors got to mix as well. Fans got to meet some of the new players. How good was that to see the new players in particular getting involved with the fans?
Yeah, and I've had some feedback that gee, he's a great kid and he's a good kid, and so it's important. Then when they start playing and on the match day and they see them up in the restaurant, they're not shy to go and speak to them. A lot of people don't know, but a lot of the players are genuinely shy. But if they know you or you go and speak to them, they'll speak to you. So we sort of brought that togetherness. It was a great night.
Super League got back underway last weekend. A couple of close games in particular. I know one surprise was how good St Helens were against Castleford. What did you make to the opening round of fixtures?
Yeah, that was a shock result. I know Cass wanted to go there, and they said they wanted to go there and make a statement, and Saints were on fire. They looked like, after the first round, they looked like they're the team, and they played well. Good across the park, all over the park, and obviously that Ben Barber getting to know the league. A bit frightening, I think, when the warmer nights come and the warm weather comes. I think he'll be even better.
And Ben Roberts moved to fullback in that game. Do you feel that was a little bit of disruption for Castleford, just him learning how the team played from a different position? Or
no, he's played fullback for Melbourne. He's played fullback for Cass before, so Ben knows how they play. I don't think really singling Benny out is to do with it. He's a quality player, and I know that Darryl said that was one of the positions they had to look at, but Ben can play fullback and he can play there well. And
this weekend Super League, it's sort of all over the place, isn't it? We had Leeds playing at Ellen Road last night. We've got Wigan and Hull in Australia on Saturday. How good is it that Super League is being played at different venues and all across the world as well?
It's different. Certainly across the world, is halfway around the world, that the Wigan and Hull game, which we'll see what that's like, and we'll see what effect that has on those two teams. But we've got to spread the word. It's good stuff.
We saw Leeds play against Hull KR last night. I had a little brain freeze there, and I heard the commentators say they played Hull KR last night and they play Widnes the week after they get back from Australia. Who does that benefit more out of the teams they're coming up against? Is it the team they play before they go because their minds may be on that, or is it the team they face after because they may still be struggling the after effects of all the travel?
I don't know. We'll find out. This is what everyone's asking the questions of. Will they have a wobble when they get back? I'm sure the two clubs out there will be doing everything in their power to not let people use that excuse and try and get back and win them next two games, and that puts that to bed. Do you know what I mean? And that's certainly, if I was in that camp, that's what I'd be instructing our boys to try and get back, and let's get these next 2 or 3 games won. And obviously otherwise they're going to all ready-made excuse for them, because they've been travelling and blah blah blah. So I'm sure they'll have plans in place to try and rectify the tiredness and that sort of stuff. Travelling halfway across the world to play these days isn't as daunting as it used to be. The boys will know what time to get some sleep on the plane, and and that sort of stuff. They'll get some sleeping tablets and knock themselves out, and they'll be away. So just the quicker you get back into the slipstream, better. So and they've got all these scientists and all these S&C people, and they know what they're doing. So they'll probably be having breakfast when everyone else on the plane is having their tea and that sort of stuff. So, you know, hopefully they get back and we don't, you know, really look and say, oh, it's because of that. That's what I would like to see done.
And obviously the dual reg partners, Hull FC, tomorrow morning against Wigan. I'm sure Richard Orn and a few lads in the camp will have more than one eye on that.
Against who?
Wigan.
Wigan. Is that your team? No, I'm impartial. Who do you think will win that, Rob?
Tough one. A tendency to go with Wigan.
Well, there you go. I've got them to say it. I've got them to say it.
That big game experience, haven't they, come through over the past few years?
Wigan won't beat them, mate.
We'll see.
We'll see next week.
We'll hold you to it.
We've got Wigan there, Hull here. So we'll see. I think it'll be a cracking game. There won't be much in it. Both good sides, real good sides, and you know, we'll all be up to watch it.
And obviously the Dons get underway on the 18th of February, Coventry at home. It's just getting ever so closer now, isn't it?
Yeah. This last 2 weeks after the Batley game is taking forever. We just want to play. You know, I suppose everyone else wants to play, but they're training hard, and you know, we're looking forward to the first game.
What's it like in the last week or so before the season gets underway? Because you can have all the contact in training and getting your body ready, but is it a case of just easing off when you're facing each other and your own teammates in training in the last couple of days, just so your body's not suffering any after effects in the first game?
It depends. For me, no, because that's how you pick up injuries. If you try and ease off, you'll get injured. If you're easing off and someone in the team's training at full pelt and run into you and you can do a shoulder or anything. So you should train how you're going to play, and train hard and play hard is what they normally say. So it's just edgy though. You get a bit edgy, and that's down. Then the coach has to do his job and sort of just rein you back a little bit. Not so much as ease off, just pull things back a bit. And sometimes you may have to say to them, "That's it, boys. Well, let's get in. We're done," because they're flying. Do you know what I mean? So that the coaches know what they're doing, and that's probably what you do.
And the match day experience as well for all the young kids coming down at the Coventry game. There's so many different things for them to do, and for even if a family's coming not really keen on rugby league at present, chance to come have some fun on the Sunday and then watch the game, and then that's when the sort of love for the game will develop. Yeah,
we had a fans panel meeting this week, and it was great, and we discussed everything like that. Someone just looking through the window while he's playing games. No, we had a fans panel meeting, and that went really well, and we discussed the attendance and the atmosphere, and the atmosphere's hoping on this Coventry game is something for times to come. We're going to have, you know, pet zone, we're going to have game playstations, we're going to have a live band down in the concourse. We're also, what else is going to be there?
Potentially a couple of
tackle
players.
Shields,
Yep.
The players. A lot going on for the kids. We've done a heap of kids season tickets. So the kids are going to have try cards, and there's going to be some flags, and so I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. You know, we'll try and get everyone mingling around the concourse with plenty of activity going on and building up to the game. You know, then we'll have looking at a playlist of songs so the fans get to know how closer to the game we're getting and all that sort of stuff. So really, really grateful, and think Sean Lockwood and Mark Huseman have done an absolutely fantastic job on that side. We're not looking at doing this just for the Coventry game. We'll try and repeat it. Well, 80-90% of the activity will be repeated, but such as the fans, the pit zone and all that costs money, quite a bit of money to bring in. But we'll do stuff with the cinemas when the superheroes come out. We'll get all the kids dressing up as their favourite superheroes. We'll do some prizes, and so we're trying to make it more than just a match. And we're wanting the kids to go away and tell all their mates and say, you've got to get down here next Sunday and watch the Dons. Everything's going on, and once we can do that, and word of, you know, you can spend as much as you want on advertising, but I think the best advertising is the word of mouth, people telling everyone about, you know, what's going on. So we'll stick to our end of the bargain, and we'll stick with it. You know, if we get 2 this week turning up, 4 the week after, and things like that, we'll roll with it. But looking forward to it. It's what the fans have asked for. It's what the fans panel has brought to the table. We've done real well on the season tickets, and now let's see what we do on the match day, and hopefully there'll be plenty of noise and plenty of activity going on, which will be great.